Hi, everyone. I'm Gary Knoll, and I'd like to welcome you to another class from On the Air. Today, I'm going to share some information and insight that's based upon my entire career's work in slowing down, and wherever possible, reversing the diseases of aging and to extend our lifespan. And to do this, I'm going to take you into a little of the science, not to confuse you or make it too complicated, but at least let you know that there's a big difference in what you eat and what you drink and how you age. So we take at the macro level, I want a sandwich for lunch, a grilled cheese sandwich. Well, what's in that grilled cheese sandwich? Some gluten and some dairy. And does your body need it? Does it benefit from it? Does it have a reaction to it? Or a salad, or tofu burger. Everything we put in our body impacts our genes. So this area of science is called Nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics is a relatively new field of medicine that explores the relationship between nutrition and gene expression, because it does matter. It combines the fields of genetics and nutrition to develop personalized nutrition strategies based upon an individual's unique genetic makeup. The ultimate goal of nutrigenomics is to prevent and treat disease by understanding how nutrition affects gene expression. It can be considered related to functional medicine. However, nutrigenomics is more specialized, and functional medicine would be, okay, I want to make sure I don't get a cold, so I have to have a lot of antioxidants, and well, the best source of antioxidants would be orange juice. So I'm going to take a glass of orange juice, and that'll give my body vitamin C and phytonutrients that will help strengthen my immune system. Okay, that's a function. You're taking in something that has a specific function. All right, that's what's called functional foods and functional medicine. For example, if I want to help my mind and my brain stay young and non-inflamed, I'll take blueberries, wild blueberries. It's functional. They've been able to isolate and do the studies to show what's in a blueberry, a wild blueberry, that can help my brain. So I just take the blueberries, and I know those blueberries are helping my brain. So that's what the functional medicine is. And it's similar to that. The history of nutrigenomics can be traced back to the Human Genome Project, which was completed in 2003. The project mapped the entire human genome, providing scientists with a better understanding of the genetic basis of disease. Since then, advances in technology have made it possible to study the interaction between genes and nutrients at a modular level. Several institutions have been founded that specialize in nutrigenomics, including the Human Nutrition Research Center of Aging at Tufts University, University of Utah's Nutritional Genomics Institute, the Center for Excellence Nutritional Genomics at the University of California, Davis, and the Institute of Nutrigenomics and Personalized Nutrition at the University of San Francisco. But most people are not aware of this. The fundamental underlying principle of nutrigenomics is that the food we eat interacts with our genes, influencing their expression and ultimately our health. And just to give you a corollary, let's just say that right now I'm just very relaxed. And my normal nature is just to chill out, be relaxed, have fun, laugh, and all that helps my immune system because it keeps the stress hormones like cortisol, keeps them down. Now, let's just say, and this actually happened this morning, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. Suddenly I heard a thump, thump, and I thought it was someone knocking on my door. And I'm thinking, who would be at my door at 3 o'clock in the morning? And that meant that suddenly my heart started to race faster. My blood pressure, I'm sure, went up. My blood sugar went up. In other words, I was prepared, if need be, for flight or fight response. It's in every one of us, hardwired. So I went up and got dressed, went to the door, opened up, and there was nothing there. Then I realized there was no lights on. I have security lights. That meant that it came from another source. Then I realized, wow, that's the peacocks up on my roof. and one of them probably stepped down right above my bedroom, and that's the thump thump. So then immediately everything came back to normal. And when I realized that the thump thump was probably just some peacocks that sleep above my room on the roof, and one probably stepped off and went thump thump. Now what happened was that my genes came back to being calm, and I was able to return to sleep, and blood pressure back to normal. Now that just gives you an idea that your genes adapt immediately to everything that they're faced with. And that's why if I stand up right now, my heartbeat will increase. I sit down, it'll decrease. If I lay down, it'll decrease more. If I'm just sitting here, my blood sugar's at one level, but if I go out after a meal and I walk for, let's say 20 minutes after I've eaten a meal, my blood sugar will stay more normal. If I didn't, it'll spike up. So that's why I recommend everyone after a meal, take a walk, and especially pre-diabetic and diabetic people. So our body is adapting constantly. Every microsecond it's adapting. So the study of nutrigenomics aims to identify the specific nutrients that can either turn genes on or off. And guess what? Fear turns them off. It's negative. Happiness, joy, love turns them on. And hence we develop personalized nutrition plans that can optimize gene expression and prevent or treat disease. And nutrigenomics is based upon three key concepts: genetic variability, meaning every person's genetic makeup is unique. You're the only one in the world that has it. And therefore, your response to nutrients will vary. By identifying genetic variations that affect nutrient metabolism, nutrigenomics can develop personalized nutrition plans based upon your individual specific needs. And then gene-nutrient interactions. Nutrients in the foods we eat can affect gene expression by interacting with specific genes. By understanding these interactions, personalized dietary plans and specific nutrients can be prescribed to optimize gene expression. And then the whole idea of health promotion and disease prevention, its ultimate goal is to prevent and treat diseases by identifying the specific nutrients and dietary patterns that support desirable gene expression that promotes health. For example, if you have a genetic variant that makes you more susceptible to high blood pressure, nutrigenomics may recommend a diet that is low in sodium and high in potassium to help reduce the risk of hypertension. Similarly, if you have a genetic variant that impairs your ability to metabolize certain nutrients, nutrigenomics may recommend dietary supplements that are specific to those needs. So let us just summarize here. Nutrigenomics utilizes different diagnostic methods to determine what nutrients to recommend based upon your personal genetic information that identifies genetic variations that influence nutrient metabolism and disease susceptibility. And some of these diagnostic methods include genetic testing, nutrient profiling that analyzes your nutrient intake to find deficiencies and imbalances, and functional testing of your blood to assess the overall nutrient status. The data gathered enables the physician to develop personalized dietary and lifestyle recommendations to either prevent likely diseases or as a course of treatment. It has successfully been used to treat a wide variety of diseases. It's been used to significantly improve cholesterol levels and blood pressure levels in patients with cardiovascular disease. A study in the Journal of Nutrition and Cancer found that a personalized nutrition plan based upon an individual's genetic makeup and cancer risk factors led to significant improvements in cancer-related biomarkers in patients with small cell lung cancer. Similarly, nutrigenomics has been successful in improving glycemic, that's your blood sugar control, with people with type 2 diabetes. Also, it helps you with body weight metabolism to treat obesity. It helps to improve your gut microbiome to treat inflammation or bowel disease like ileitis, spastic colon, etc. And finally, the study published in the journal PLOS One found that a personalized nutrition plan based upon individual genetic makeup led to significant improvements in cognitive function in patients with Alzheimer's disease. So it has an enormous potential to revolutionize personalized nutrition and health. It does have some potential downsides to consider. First, the necessary tests to personalize nutrition plans are expensive, and therefore nutrigenomics is not accessible to most people with limited financial resources. However, more important are the ethical, legal, and social considerations regarding the collection, storage, and use of your genetic data, and I oppose that. This includes concerns about privacy, discrimination, and the potential misuse of genetic information. However, let me tell you how it does work if you can afford it. Over the last 3 years, I've conducted what could arguably be considered 5 of the most important anti-aging clinical studies on human beings ever done. It came after 36 years as being senior research fellow, top scientist, and the director of the anti-aging division at the Institute of Applied Biology. I'd completed successfully over 165 different studies. Included also beyond that were 55 clinical studies with humans and helping people, for example, who had arthritis. In a period of 28 days, was able to eliminate all arthritis of every type in a group of people who had it for a minimum of 7 years each. And they had no arthritis, no inflammation, normal use of their limbs after 28 days on a specialized program. Same with high blood pressure, same with depression. That was a 3-month study. Same with anxiety. That was a 3-month study. Same with Alzheimer's and multiple sclerosis. Reverse them, literally reverse them. Yes, now you may not be aware of this because unfortunately, I don't use medicines, even though mine are lifestyle and behavior modification studies. But in the last one, something unique happened. We had never been able to afford or even get the use of what is called a methylation DNA genetic test. The patent is held by a university, a major university, and its anti-aging division. But because of the outcome of the previous 4 studies and showing the phenomenal results in anti-aging and bringing a person out of all diseases and reverse their aging process, they decided they would help us. And so they did this test. You simply put this little circular device on your arm, you push it in, it's painless, and a little amount of blood is drawn out, little capsule of blood. You send it in at the beginning of the first day of the study, and at the end of 90 days, the last day of the study. Now, in the most let's say, detailed and comprehensive analysis ever created, they're able to measure your actual age of that cell. In fact, they can tell you the age of every cell in your body. So let's just say that your chronological age is 60. They may come back and say you're actually 90 at your chronological age. And you say, how's that possible? I'm 60. Well, did you smoke? Did you drink? If so, how much and at what degree? Did you eat the amount of calories you should, or did you overeat? Were you on yo-yo diets? Were you heavy and then lost weight, heavy and lost weight? What was your body mass index? Was it high for a long period of time? Did you work night shift? Were you stressed a lot? If so, was it a one-time stressor or was it chronic every day? You had this sense of angst, existential fears. All of that prematurely ages you. And this is a biological clock. It measures that. So it tells you the various health of your different genes and organs in your body. And it's kind of scary because who wants to know when they're going to die? Well, this says you're going to die in 2 years and 3 months. It can do that. Yes, we're there now. The good news was that to their surprise, but their happiness, we had a conference with 10 of the leading anti-aging scientists and the developers of new technologies in the world in this conference call to discuss the outcome. They said what we did had never been done before, and that the average lifespan was increased by 2.2 years. And what was remarkable was that we had a flaw in our study, and I didn't know it. until we got everyone's journal back. And we were evaluating the results. I was looking at the blood chemistries. We took a separate set of blood chemistries on day 1 and day 90. And that was half the people in the study did not do all the study. When they got home, they stopped their exercise. They weren't taking their supplements. They were not eating the right food. They weren't fasting from dinner till breakfast every day. They didn't fast on Saturday and Sundays with juices and protein shakes. I didn't know that because no one said, hey, Gary, I'm not following the study. When any scientific study, you have to have people complete it doing what they're supposed to do. Otherwise, it'll be imbalanced. If you have 10 people doing it right and 10 people not doing it right, you end up with a zero-sum gain. Hence, people say, well, your study didn't prove any benefit. That's not true. Half the people got great benefit. In spite of half the people not finishing the study correctly, we still had a statistically significant increase showing a positive outcome. So then they say, do the study again, but this time, don't allow people to cheat. And so we've created a whole system monitoring them. So they've got to report every day. We have to actually get from them their impedance results emailed every day. We want to see them taking, they got to put a camera in their house so we see what they're doing as far as their supplementation. So this is going to be strict this time. Also, we have people with high blood pressure, diabetes, cancers in the study. This time, you can't have a disease be in the study. But one thing that they did say, that had we not had these people who didn't do the study, we would have increased the average lifespan by 5 years. Let me repeat that. Listen to what I'm saying. This has never been done in human history and science. For the first time, we could prove that in 90 days of a study and only 2 weeks on campus where we were all together, where we were doing workshops and lectures on the aging process and even workshops on yoga, meditation, Tai Chi, Qigong, energy transfer work, organic gardening, and growing mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms to eat on a regular basis, showing how people could grow these in their own home, and power walking, gym exercises. We did all that in 2 weeks. Then they carried it home and continued. And we increased lifespan because one of the people in there had a 5-year increase in their lifespan. Now, it was all coded, so we didn't know who was who. I was in the study too. So that's the future, all right? And it's coming. It's here now because I could sit with you and based upon all the information I collect from you, including your blood workup, including this particular blood study, which is about $1,000, I could determine what may be a problem in your body. I'll give you an example for myself. I've been a competitive athlete my entire adult life, even as from 7th grade football on through high school, college, varsity basketball, college, and then an elite athlete. I'm athlete of the year in the United States in my category in the Metropolitan Athletic Congress, New York City, that represents over 40,000 athletes in track and field. And I've won multiple outstanding athletes. So it's something I know, athleticism. I'm also a coach since 1975. I've coached tens of thousands of people do the New York City Marathon and other races. And I race in those same races too with them. So the body is something I know. But what I didn't know was that some pain occurring in my ankles. I went in and got an MRI. It wasn't from arthritis. The MRI showed that there was inflammation. It was probably arthritis. It wasn't. It was because I was taking too much plant-based protein into my diet. When I cut it back on my plant-based, pain went immediately away. If I increased the protein, pain came back. That's how you have to determine how much of even a good thing you should have. We shouldn't be taking massive amounts of vitamins because I also found if you take too much of certain vitamins, you imbalance the body. Because remember, everything in the body is electrical. Everything, every cell functions on electricity, and water in the body being the medium. You have to have a balance. You have to be up with your water content into the 70th percentile. Most people are not. Most people are dehydrated. Senior citizens are almost always dehydrated. They don't drink enough because of the mechanism in the brain that creates either hydrodipsy or polydipsy, meaning you're thirsty, but you don't recognize you're thirsty. You're hungry, you don't recognize you're hungry. So you don't consume enough of the liquids that you should, and healthy liquids. So we now have this science to such a level that taking some of these tests and doing a proper analysis, we can determine exactly what you need to slow the aging process, to slow the disease process, to reverse it, and increase your life expectancy in good health, outstanding health, with your mind, your brain, your body, your muscles dynamic. That's right now, and we're leading it. Unfortunately, my newest study, which is coming up to validate what happens when I have people follow this study, which is in 3 weeks from now, is full. So I can't take anyone else on at this time into the study, but I'll give you the results. All right. And I'm going to give you a lot more on my Classroom on the Air of how to really get healthy. And each one of these are pieces of a puzzle. And the more pieces of the puzzle you bring together that fit, then you can take out those pieces that don't fit. You know, like the bad diet, lack of exercise, negative dispositions, being around toxic people, working in a toxic environment. We'll be giving a lot more so you can live a longer and healthier life. That does it for this one. I want to thank you for tuning in. Share this with other people. Remember, we don't advertise. We don't publicize. Everything I do since the year 2000 is based upon word of mouth. So it helps to play it forward, pass this information forward. Share this with someone else who can benefit from it. And go to PRN.Live, PRN.Live, and listen to my show, noon to 1, but all the other phenomenal shows, Abby Martin and Jimmy Dore, all the people that you wouldn't be hearing normally or watch. You can now hear them 24/7 on the Progressive Radio Network. Have a nice day, everyone.
Are you tired of closed-minded programming? Well, look no further than PRN.Live, the home for progressive voices.